Hello, everyone. We're going to wait for more people to come in. Hello, everyone. We are the MCs of this meeting and also members of the Student Council. I am Anka. I'm from Armenia.
I'm Ashara and I'm from Bangladesh, and we're the core representatives of the Student Council. Welcome to the new cohort of UWC Dilijan students and their families. Anka and I remember how we first felt about becoming a student here when we were accepted.
Yeah, so UWC is a community of students, teachers, alumni, and families, and as well as UWC supporters and volunteers. Today we have some representatives here. So we hope that this town hall will help you get to know a little bit about UWC Dilijan and have a little bit of an understanding of what your home for the next 2 years is going to be. The format of this session is as follows. Ashara and I will introduce the speakers in due course, and then you will have a chance to ask questions once we have finished with introductions. So to start, it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Adam Armansky, who is our incoming head of UWC Dilijan, who will start in July. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Anka and Ashara, and hello everyone. I'm Adam Armansky, and I will be joining UWC Dilijan this summer. I'll be joining the school from Norway, where I have been living and working for the past 8 years as the head of an international school offering IB programs. Prior to Norway, I lived and worked at IB schools in Switzerland, Kazakhstan, China, Turkey, and Poland, for a total of 25 years now, which now that I've said that out loud, I think is significantly more than you've been alive for. But that's a reflection for me. Like you, I'm very excited about joining UWC Dilijan in the community. And it is not the only thing that I think we have in common. I think like you, I have gone through a rigorous recruitment process that included a test, included written assignments and a number of interviews. So I think you can relate to each of these components. But both you and I have made it and will be joining the ranks of the UWC Dilijan people this summer, and I'm very, very excited about that. Unlike you, however, I have had the privilege of visiting Dilijan. I went there in autumn last year and in spring again. And I am sure that you will be amazed when you arrive. You will be amazed by the setting of the school in this national park. You will be wowed by the facilities. And I know that you did a lot of research and you've seen a lot of videos, but when you arrive, I think the physical facilities will still make a huge impression on you. But more than the facilities and more than the setting of the school, I think you will be impressed with the people, and be it your second year students, residential staff, teachers, administrators. I think these people will take a really good care of you and make sure that you find Dilijan a really great home for the next 2 years. I believe that some young people are now watching us together with the parents who will soon be saying goodbye to their children. And I'm sure that for some families, it's going to be for the first time in their life. They say goodbye for so long. And I would not be surprised if you were feeling at the moment that your child is slipping through your fingers. But I'd like to take this opportunity to assure you that we will catch them at our end and we'll take a good care of your children. And I would also like to take this opportunity to ask you to be involved, to be informed, and to be engaged. The school has created a number of channels for this, and I'm sure you will hear about at least some of them a bit later today in this town hall. And I'm certain that the current students have done their due diligence and that they have done a lot of research and they watched a lot of videos and read a lot of information about the school. And I obviously have done the same. And what I have found striking that when I watched these videos, all the people said, without an exception really, that the UWC experience has been a transformative one for them. And I'm sure it's going to be the same for you and for me, both during our stay at the UWC Village and afterwards for the rest of our lives. So I look forward to welcoming everybody at the campus in August. I hope you have a wonderful summer, relax, have fun, enjoy the break, and be generous with your parents. Let them enjoy your company before you leave for a while. And I'm sure that during your research, you came across this quote by Kurt Hahn, that there is more in you than you think. So I'm really looking forward, and I'm so curious to see what's in you and what's in me and how we can grow together and how we can contribute to the development of this wonderful school. So thank you very much for inviting me today, and I really look forward to meeting you in person in August. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Anka and I are looking forward to welcoming you in our incoming class this August. Now, let me introduce Ms. Veronica Zonnebend, who, together with her husband, Ruben Vardanyan, made her dream of building a school in Dilijan a reality. Veronica Zonnebend is the co-founder and chair of the board of UWC Dilijan. Ruben and Veronica put almost $200 million of their personal funds into the school. Those who haven't visited UWC Dilijan will be amazed to see our wonderful campus. Now I will pass the floor to Veronica.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So my name is Veronica Zonnebend, and Ruben, my husband Ruben and myself, we had a dream to bring Armenia to the world and the world to Armenia. So we believe that education is their not only equalizer, but it's the tool that shapes the future, because education is something that creates and shapes future generation, and create communities that become part of their future lives, and also that create their personalities and help them to develop themselves. So our vision was very ambitious. So we wanted to create center of excellence in the region, and we wanted to also the place that helps young people to become bridge builders for the future, to bring different nationalities who learn how to live together and how to understand each other. And it seems at the beginning very impossible to create, because it was part of the Soviet Union, and that was part isolated from the rest of the world. So nobody believed that it would be possible to create the place where people are willing and ready to send their children from all over the world. And I want to use this opportunity, the families, for your trust, that you give us your children, and want to assure you, as Adam told, that we'll make everything to care about them, and that will be truly transformative experience for them. We will celebrate 10th anniversary in 2024, and it's hard to believe that it already 10 years passed since the first students stepped into their campus. So it's really worth visiting it, and I hope that we will see you not only at the graduation in 2026, but also next year when, no, 2025, your children will graduate, but also at their over time. And also what we believe that education is a dialogue between young generation, between the teachers and the staff and the families. So we want to keep dialogue and also stay connected with you, because it's very important for the children, and they're important for the community and for their future. Maybe that's it.
Veronica, could you perhaps tell our new students a little bit about the ecosystems that you have created in Dilijan and Armenia, and how the school is a part of the vibrant community of our partner organizations?
Yeah, thank you. UWC Dilijan, what is distinctive about the school? It's not only school itself and a campus, it's part of bigger ecosystem. And our vision was not only to create the center of excellence of education for young people, but it's part of also regional development and a development over Armenia, over town Dilijan as urban development, and it gives a lot of opportunities for also for development over the community in the school. Students are very well connected with the community through a community center that was founded more than 10 years ago in Dilijan, where local people, local kids volunteer in different projects, and also students from UWCD. They volunteer at their community center as well and stay connected with the local kids. It also gives a lot of opportunities to feel that they make an impact. Also part of our ecosystem is our Aurora Humanitarian Initiative, which is their initiatives in memory of the saviors of Armenians 100 years ago during genocide, and it's the prize of 1 million that is given to people who save other people in our days. And UWC schools implement the projects within their initiatives Young Aurora, so they can become active from early age and understand their sense and create their sense of responsibility about the community and make a positive impact on them. There is also an initiative of FAST, Science and Technology Foundation, and some of our alumni made their startups within this foundation, and some of them are very successful, and it's very also good experience. And in Dilijan itself, there are the projects like now under development over the Karit Fabrica, it's Creative Hub, where people from the community and their also those who come moved to live to Dilijan, they make their projects in like and also local artisans, and there's some IT startups. They will have their home and residence. So it's what is important, that it's not like a bubble, UWC Dilijan. It's part of ecosystem that helps to model the role of young people in their future lives.
Thank you, Veronica, for giving us the opportunity to study in this dynamic environment and allowing us to avail the opportunities to grow as people. Now, I would like to introduce Majella, who leads the Parent Council. Over to you.
Hi, my name is Majella Skansebakken. I'm an Australian who lives in Dubai. I'm married to a Norwegian Australian and I have 3 children. Very, very fortunate that my daughter Solveig has just completed her first year at UWC Diligent this week. She'll be coming home on the weekend, which is really exciting. And our son graduated in 2022. So I know exactly how you're feeling and I know all of the questions that you've got and you have a great support system. So I'm the chair of the Parent Council. As you know, UWC Diligent is a young school, and given that the parent community, obviously apart from the Armenian families, it's generally far away. So it's difficult for the parents to get involved like you would obviously with a regular school. One positive that did come out of the pandemic is that we learned to work remotely, and in 2022 a group of parents got organised and we formed a parent council in order for us to support the school. It's been a really great opportunity just for us to be able to get closer to the school and also for parents to get to know each other, because you wouldn't necessarily get to know each other because we're all so far away. We have 5 committees on the Parent Council. One of them is communication. So that's how we communicate with you. We've got the parent Facebook page, which you all know about, and you've all started joining over the past few days. And you've got the WhatsApp group. So that group is the group that I have been chatting to you all on, and that's been really lovely to get to know you all. Obviously, I don't have anything to do with admissions or academics or anything like that, but we do have parents who can assist. So our second committee then is the onboarding committee, and we have parent buddies for you. You will have received a letter from us. We have parents all over the world in every time zone, every nationality, and they're all happy to help, ask any question and we can assist. And we have a lovely group of people. Actually, it's very, very nice. I've just been confirming with them all and everyone's very excited for you to come on board. So if you need a parent buddy, call out. We have then a committee called UWCD and Beyond, and that's where we're looking at being able to offer opportunities like gap years, internships and things. So if families have opportunities they can provide to children, then that's where we try and we formed that with the school, and that's been kind of nice. Kids doing service and things all over the world. So that's been lovely. The graduation committee did an amazing job on the weekend. I know some of you watched the live of it. It was amazing, and that was really nice. It's so nice for some of the parents to get involved in that. So that was a graduation committee of 5 ladies, and they had a great time assisting with the school. We've then obviously got fundraising. There's always going to be fundraising with a school like ours, and that is has a direct impact obviously with the school, and we try and just work directly with the school with things like that. So I'd like to really just welcome you on behalf of the Parent Council, and we are inviting you to join the Parent Council. Don't feel as though there's anything, tough. It's just nice chats. There's always nice things going on. You can help without joining a committee, and you can always just join a meeting if you just feel like meeting some parents. The first meeting of the academic year is on the 18th of August at 3 o'clock, and it's always Armenian time when we talk about things. I know some parents were asking which time zone we always talk about. We'll send an invite out, and we will also have a parent meet parent conversation with you, so that's online. And if you'd like to drop your children off, I'm coming up so I can meet you all. I live very close. I'm not very far away from the school. So I'll come up, and if you want to drop your children, you're obviously more than welcome, and I'll look forward to meeting you. See you.
Thank you very much, Majella. Now I will be passing on the floor to Marta, our co-year from Portugal, who will talk a little bit about the buddy system that we have in place for our first year students. Hey, Marta.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Marta, and I'm part of the buddy system, which is a very diverse group of students that was established by the admissions team in order to help facilitate the welcoming of new firsties and of this new generation. So we're here to help to answer your questions. We have our email, which is uwcbuddies@uwcdiligent.am. So you can email us all the time, and we would love to answer you. And we're also here to make you feel more comfortable and become a little bit more familiar with some of the students and some of the places, so that you can get some contact with it before you come here. And then it would be easier to start putting faces to the movement, to the school, and all of your new life in the next few years. So we'll be organizing also some Q&A sessions so that you can feel more comfortable and ask us all the questions that you might have. And the first one is already happening in June. So pay attention to that if you also want to get some answers from us as students from UWC. Also, the parent buddy system was also talked about, Majella. So there's all of this support system that you can enjoy. And we would love to help you in any situation. And we're always here to help you as buddies as well.
Thank you so much, Martha. And now Anka and I will tell you a bit about the Student Council and how it works. Our residences are essentially split into two sides, Mountainside and Riverside, which we call MS and RS. Each side has 3 tunes, which is the Armenian word for house. So we have a total of 6 tunes in the entire school. Each tune has a student council representative, and they're called tune reps, and they're essentially elected by the entirety of the tune, and we have an election system. Other than the 6 people, we have 2 core representatives, which are Anka and myself, and we are elected by the entire school. We're tasked with leading and moderating the entire student council.
So our council is responsible for gathering the opinions of the student body alongside with observing different problems that might arise throughout the course of the school year, both residential and academic. So we discuss these during our weekly meetings on Monday, and then we communicate them on Tuesdays to the community council, which has representatives from different fields of our school. So a representative from the res life, and then a representative of the academic life, and then our head as well. So our council reassures that we work hand in hand with the entire community in order to improve and develop together.
And we're always here to help. But let us now hear from our teachers, who together with the other members of the academic life and non-academic staff make our studying and residential life enjoyable. With us here today is Madhu Banerjee, who's the teacher of biology and also the head of residential life. Madhu, could you please tell us a bit about yourself, your subject, and anything you would like to share about residential life?
You're on mute.
Okay. My connection is very unstable, so I'm very sorry it's coming on and off. So thanks, Ashara, and hello, everyone. I'm Madhu, originally from India, but my home now is in the UK. I worked in a number of schools in the UK and different countries of Africa before coming to Armenia. I've been an IB teacher of biology, chemistry, ESS, and TOK for more than a decade, and also have been a head of faculty and an IBDP coordinator in other schools. In UWCD, I teach biology and have been here since 2016. My primary responsibility is the well-being and safeguarding of the entire community in my capacity as the head of residential life and the designated safeguarding lead. I have tried to preempt some of the questions that you as parents and incoming students might like me to answer before our Q&A session. So please feel free to ask any question that I do not address now during my talk. What is special about residential life in UWCD? It is not just a boarding facility for the students, it is their home. Why I say this is because they always want to return. And this year at the graduation, on the 20th of May, we had 30+ alumni visiting us. Throughout the year, they come and visit us because of the connection they feel with the college. I can probably say so many stories, but one little one here. I was visiting UWC Robert Bosch College last month, and when some of our alumni came to know about it, They made sure we met up. This is the bond and connection that made the residential experience special in UWCD. There are two aspects to the residential life, the material one and the emotional one. We have a beautiful and sprawling campus with modern facilities like gym, I think I dropped off. Am I back? Okay, right. So I was talking about the facilities. We have a gym, swimming pool, lots of nature and places for relaxation, meditation, indoor games, and other creative work like music, art, etc. Facilities are well maintained, a well-equipped cafeteria, and probably one of the best I have seen in the residential schools in the world in terms of menu, service, and general standard. In my 7 years here, I have heard very few complaints about food in general, which is not the case in most of the boarding schools I have worked in or visited. And then comes the emotional side. There is a robust support system in place. The Armenian word for house, as you heard, is tun. The tun parents or the house parents are in loco parentis, and they live in the same houses as their students and are available for students almost 24/7. Even they open their doors to their apartments to these students to create a family or even throwing parties for their friends as they would do at home, which makes it special. There are mentors, some of who live in the student corridors, who are also an extra layer of support to the students. The adult presence in the residences also make them safer. The students also have a residential curriculum where in the family setting, they're free to discuss about homesickness, importance of diet, healthy living, sex education, and other factors that affect the teenage life in the 21st century, and learn how to manage life when they go to university. The whole idea of creating this family feeling in the tunes is something that make UWCD residential experience very special. What support structure do we have in place in terms of medical and mental health support? We have a fully equipped medical center on campus with 5 nurses working round the clock. The resident doctor lives on campus and is on call 24/7. We have direct arrangement with the local hospital and the clinic of Dilijan and can transfer students to their care or get expert medical practitioners to the campus in case of a more serious case. Other than that, our medical insurance covers treatments in the big hospitals in Yerevan if needed. We have a well-being counselor, a visiting psychotherapist, and a consultant psychiatrist for students in need of mental health support. I myself am trained a mental health first aider. And I think the most important question that comes is how do we put the students' room together? We follow the UWC mission to unite people, nations, and cultures for peace and a sustainable future. This principle is followed in selecting roommates in a very intentional way to give them the experience of unity in diversity. Therefore, we select students from diverse culture, background, language, skills, and students from countries in political conflict to live together in a room to develop their understandings of commonalities among them and to learn to respect as well as gain knowledge about the differences. This living together with the diverse people is very enriching experience and gives them the tools to go out in the bigger world with a very open and adaptable mind. I'll be happy to answer questions with Anka and Ashara later on. And that's from me now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madhu. We have Francesco joining our call. They're an alumni, and I will pass to them.
Hi, Madhu. Hello, everyone. This is Francesco. So nice to meet everyone. Adam, also very nice to meet you. Can everyone hear me properly? Yes, fantastic. Such an emotion to also see Madhu in camera. Even so far, she was also my host mom at the time. Veronica is there. This is also such an incredible moment to see so many people together. Hello, Veronica. Hope all is well. And everyone, hello. I'm Francesco. As I said, I graduated in 2018. I'm from Italy, from Rome, and started my diligent adventure in 2016. I'm now still a student at ETH Zurich. As you can see from the math behind me, there is some math going on in my life. But I'm here as a representative of the alumni. I'm in the alumni council. Every year, of course, this group of people becomes bigger and bigger because there are so many newcomers into the alumni group that come from the previous generations. And I think this is one of the beauties of the UWC, and especially the diligent experience. There is a very strong connection between people, not only during the 2 incredible years that will fly away in no time, but also afterwards. So a very big experience is the experience after UWC, and what it means for our lives afterwards is also very, very inspiring, because what we learn and what people teach us at UWC and UWC Diligent, and also what you learn in Armenia, is something that you will bring forever in your life. And so it's not just the 2 beautiful years of experience, but it's something that will also really accompany you for the whole life. Not only because of the people that you meet, but because every single part of your experiences will be somehow connected to these 2 incredible years of growth that you will have in that place. So remember that everything that comes into these years is something that will stay with you. So it can also be, daunting a bit if you think about it, but it's incredible to have that experience, and I'm super grateful to having been given that opportunity. And most importantly, I think there is a great opportunity for us to really connect, especially because now, even if I'm not the oldest generation of alumni, there is a few 2 years older than me generation. But I think now we're almost, like in age, not that different. But the interesting thing is that we're getting older, getting more experience, and even though we're still young alumni, we do have some experience on how to go on about life, and it would be great to pass on that experience to the other generations. So really feel free to reach out in any way possible. We're here also for you, and just very, 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 very welcome to the new cohort. It's incredible. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Francesco. Now we will pass it on to Veronica so that she can introduce our host country, Armenia, to us.
Yes, I thought that it's important to add to the parents and to the families who never been to Armenia and who come to Armenia, and their children will spend there 2 years. It's a country that is with beautiful nature and with the ancient history, and it's located at the crossroads of 4 civilizations: Shia, Sunni, Christian, and others. So that is Armenia has a long history, and there are many places to visit and to see there, to really watch the history of human beings. And it is stable country and safe. And especially, and whatever it despite the geopolitical situation inside the country, and their kids can go out, and people are very friendly, and hospitality is one of the main features of the people there. So whatever happens, people are always welcome, and they're ready to help, and so it creates memorable experience and their pleasant experience. So your children will be exposed to a very rich culture. Maybe some of them haven't heard about it, but it will be part of their life for maybe forever. And also the friends that they get there will stay, as Francesca told, for a long time. And we're proud that our students and their teachers as well call Dilijan their second home. And so we are always happy to see our alumni, and even our former staff members who come regularly to visit their friends. And also it's worth visiting the country so it's interesting destination for all of you, so to explore it and to see with your own eyes what's happening. Because sometimes what we hear from media is not is exactly what is happening in reality. So that's maybe a few words for you. And but the best way is to come and see by yourself.
Thank you. I totally agree on the coming and seeing part. So next year, oh yeah, Francesco, did you want to add something?
Just very briefly, because Tatevik just told me that she remembers my whole family coming at my graduation. And I wanted to add on what Veronica said, that I am not exaggerating when I say this, but it was one of the most beautiful moments in my whole life until now, when my whole family from Italy came. And not only my parents, also my siblings, my cousins, my uncles, everyone came. And it was the most beautiful moment in our family time. And I invite every parent that is listening really to, if there is the opportunity and the privilege, of course, to do that, because it's a memory that will stay there forever.
Thank you. Yeah, so come to Armenia, guys. It's great. And so a little bit on our academic side, next year we're going to have a new subject, and two teachers at our school, Suzanne and Sushil, who teach languages, would like to tell you a little bit about it and invite you to choose this subject.
Hello, my name's Suzanne, and I teach English here at UWC Dilijan, and together with
hi, I'm Sushil, and I teach English too here at UWC Dilijan, and we are going to be teaching a new course,
which we're really pleased and excited about offering. It's a brand new course. We've been invited to take part in the launch of this, and it's called Language and Culture. It's a cross-disciplinary course, and it has elements of language A study and also a study from the Group 3 of the IB, which is Individuals and Societies. Students joining this year are eligible to choose this option, and it can meet the requirement for Group 1 and for Group 3, which offers some flexibility in your programme of study. It's a very interesting, exciting course, which involves looking at a wide range of material to establish what our ideas mean about what language is and what culture is.
Yeah, so the course essentially is going to try and understand the complex interactions between individuals, societies, languages, and cultures. To put it simply, language is not an empty vessel that conveys pre-existing meaning, but language itself is a form of social action, and that's essentially the core rationale behind this course. We will also be kind of dealing with concepts like identity, context, power, and change, and how this affects language and culture. And of course, this course is designed from its initial point itself to be multilingual and multicultural, which essentially ties in with the UWC-D and the UWC mission.
But also to add that students who speak one language will still be able to choose this option and will be successful in their studies. They will get the opportunity to reflect on their own identities. They'll keep a language and culture diary.
Yeah, and I think we kind of expect this course to be exciting. We kind of expect this to be intellectually stimulating for students, and we seem to be really excited about this.
And we're looking forward to teaching
it.
Yeah,
we're looking forward to teaching it, right, here at UWC Diligent.
Oh, uh-oh. We tried to turn the blinds down, but wait, let's do you want to move a little bit? We're sorry for the technical issues, but we would like to move on to the Q&A portion of our session. So yeah, please use the Q&A button in the Zoom call to send us questions, and me, Ashara, and everybody else present in this call will love to answer your questions. So we have one question about visa support. And when do we apply for visa?
I will answer that, Anka, probably it's easier. Yes, if their admissions will work with you to send you invitation letters if you need an invitation letter for visa, or if it is any other process, whether you need an e-visa or visa on arrival, admissions will work with parents and students about this, and they will send everything on time, also give you guidance how to get the visa, because some of the countries will not have an embassy for Armenia, so which will be the nearest country where you can go or send the passport to get the visa. Everything will be taken care of by our amazing admissions team will take care of that.
Thank you, Madhu.
Madhu.
The next question is about language and culture. So the question is language and culture possible to take up as an HL subject?
Oh, Madhu, I think you should answer this as well.
I think it is currently not offered as an HL subject, but I will have to check. Adam, would you know? Probably Adam would know.
Unfortunately, I don't off the top of my head. So I think it's something we'll have to check and get back to you.
Thank you.
Our next question is about like our schedule on weekdays and our activities on weekends. So we'll answer that since we lived through these lives. On weekdays, we have school starting from 8:30, and there are 2 days where we have school for half a day, so it either ends at 2:50 or 1:30, and there are the remaining days we have school till 4:10, and afterwards we're allowed to go out and go explore Dilijan, or we can stay in or make use of the amazing facility that we have on our campus. On weekends, we're allowed to leave from the morning anytime, and we can go out and explore Dilijan. Usually we have outdoor activities, which are called outdoor modules, where we're taken into hikes or horseback riding or on trips to the nearby lake that we have, which is called Lake Savan. And our weekends are also very filled with activities. But if someone chooses to stay inside, study, or just have some me time and rest up, we can do that as well.
Yeah. So there's a question about clothing and what to bring. There will be a packing list sent out, but just a brief weather update on Armenia. So bring the person asking this question is a parent. So if you're going to be here for the sort of autumn fall time, just a few warm clothes and warm-ish shoes is good. Dilijan is a lot colder than the capital Yerevan. So there's rain, there's showers, there's wind, but in total for packing, bring both warm and not warm clothes. Bring a variety because weather changes here are very drastic, especially during spring and fall. So yeah, but that's it. That's it.
Thank you so much. Our next question is about tablets and laptops. So if students should bring their own and what is recommended. In most cases, we do bring our own laptops and tablets. It's a lot easier for us to work when we have our own. But in a situation where that isn't a possibility, the school tries their best to provide them with laptops or tablets, or otherwise we have these resources in our library as well, which we're always free to use.
Yeah, so we have a question.
Can I add a little bit there?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I just would say that, we recommend that students bring their own laptops, and we have reserved laptops for students who are on fully inclusive scholarships, and we are supposed to provide them with iPads in the first year and laptops in the second year. However, we have a computer suite in the library, and so students can use that as well, but it is recommended that they bring their own laptops.
Thank you, Madhu.
So there's a question about receiving SIM cards. Madhu, do you want to answer that?
Yes, once the students arrive, we provide them with a local SIM card, and we expect all students to have a working phone initially. And so the first top up, they'll have to have a little bit of top up, but then after that, they will have to regularly top it up. Otherwise, we do not let students out of campus without a working phone. And Martha, Anka, and Ashara know so that what happens if they don't have a working phone.
And you don't want that to happen.
Our next question is about practicalities in being involved in IB subject deliberations. And as far as I know, that there has already been a form sent for subject choices by Sophie, our academic head. And while we're at home, while the students, our current firsties are at home, they can deliberate all they want with their parents and figure out the best possible combination of IB subjects. But we understand that it's very confusing, and IB is a very new curriculum to us all. So once we come here on campus for an introduction week, we have an academic orientation where all of our teachers, our head of academic life, everyone explains all of the subjects. So the school is also very flexible in any changes that pop up in the first couple of weeks of coming here. So it's completely fine.
However, we do strongly encourage to choose subjects that you are most passionate about in the subject choice form, because it really shapes how our schedule is formed, and there are instances where subject changes cannot be made because of the schedule. So yeah, pick the subjects that you are truly passionate about. We have a question on
if there are any confusions about subjects, feel free to email the buddies or text them on their Instagram. We're always happy to help answer any of those questions.
Yeah. So there's a question about if we need to buy something while we're at school, if there are accessible stores, and is it possible to buy things online and get them shipped? So our campus has the privilege of not being very far from stores. There is one that is a 10-minute walk away. It's a small convenience store that sells food, household items, clothes, basically anything. Dilijan has a lot of little stores, fresh food produce stores, little bakeries. So your options are very wide for online orders. There is a little place to receive like Amazon orders that that is through a company called Globing. And that will be later explained to all the students when they first arrive by us. And there's also another one called Wild Berries, and this will also be explained to everyone when they arrive here for online or ordering things. And for mail deliveries, so if parents want to send something to their children, the Armenian mailing system also works, but there's a few nuances related to that, which will also be explained.
The next question is a specific question about an activity. This one is in specific about fencing, but in general, if there are any activities that our school does not provide, then the school tries its best to accommodate students so that they can get lessons and continue their passion. For example, there are a lot of students here who learn violin, who learn the guitar, and take online lessons from the school. So if there is a very niche activity, once the student comes here on campus and talks to our CAS supervisors or anyone else who's in charge, the school will try their best to accommodate them.
So there's a question about how often are project weeks. There is one per term. So there's one in your first term, and there's one in your second term, there's one in your third term, and there's one in your fourth term. They last 10 days, 5 days of which you do projects. So in the first term, we have Explore Armenia Week, which is 5 days of exploring Armenia that the school supervises, and also projects that help that, and also 5 days that you are kind of free on your own. The one in the first term happens in October, and the one in second term happens in March. So yeah, I hope that clears that up. And there's also a break in between the two terms, which is from beginning of December to beginning of January. I'm sorry. But yeah, I hope that clears that up.
The next question is one that says, what did you wish you had known before you left yourselves as students? And also, what do you wish you had brought with you that you didn't? Since Anka is Armenian, I'll answer this because I flew across continents. So for me, I think one thing that I didn't have an idea about was how diverse this community is. It's definitely a culture shock. You see so many people here from so many different places, and they have so many different habits, sort of coping up with your roommate, sharing residential life, a lot of and everything that comes with the school. However, because we have very strong support systems in the school, it wasn't really that big of a problem that I didn't know it. And our tune parents, our teachers, mentors, everyone, and our second years, which is us for you guys, we tried our best to, they tried their best to sort of include us and make us feel at home. The second thing was, what did we wish we had brought with us what did you wish you had brought with you that you didn't? For me, it was winter clothes. I come from a really warm country. And first term, I didn't bring much, like any sweaters or jackets or anything. And it gets for me, it gets really cold around November and December, and a little bit towards the end of October. So if you're someone who gets really easily cold, please bring winter clothes. Don't think that the first term is a warm term. It's really not.
And for me, as someone who doesn't live very far away, I think bringing just things that bring you comfort, like obviously not a huge pillow, but if you have something small that reminds you of your family, photos that you want to put up on your wall, little things to make your corner in your room cozy, like lights, anything else that just brings you comfort and makes you feel good, bring those, because there's going to be times when you're going to be like, I miss my mom. And you look at this thing and you're like, oh, this reminds me of your mom, and you feel all better. So there's a question about debit cards, and Madhu, do you want to answer this one? How will they be issued?
Okay, once the students come, we need their visa, etc., the documents, and you have a choice to decide whether you want bank cards here or not. It's optional. And because students can use their home country debit and credit cards here as well. And the banking system is very good here. But we open accounts, 2 accounts, one in Armenian dram and one in dollar. So that's by October time, we will manage to open all the accounts for the students, and they will get their cards and passwords. And if they opt for online banking or phone banking, those options are there also. So it will be done at the latest by October.
Thank you. There's also a question that I would like Majella to answer about joining the parent councils. What are the implications and how does that process work? You are on mute. I'm sorry.
Actually, I've just typed an answer. Actually, I'm going ahead and typing them. So I'm trying to answer for you. So with that, I think just come on the call with us in August. There is no stress at all, no implications at all. You're just welcome. And if you can find the time to join us every month, it would be great. It's not every month of the year, obviously. We have a break over summer, but it's a half an hour, and it's very nice. So join us.
Thank you so much, Majella. The next question is about providing rides from the school to the airport and vice versa during breaks such as winter and summer break. And yes, the school does provide us, we give the school our schedule of our flights, and they provide us with, because we have multiple buses leaving, they provide us with the best bus that aligns with our flight schedules and that takes us to the airport.
Does anyone want to add anything to that? Madhu, did we get it all right?
You are getting it all right. Yes.
Okay, great.
Continue,
So I'll
please.
combine two questions in one because we're short on time, and it is about does the residential room change or is it the same room for 2 years, and forms on roommates. So yes, there will be a form in your open apply that is about your roommates. So it's basically what kind of lifestyle you have. Do you study in your room? Do you sleep long? Are you sensitive to light, to sound? Do you like loud music in your room? You fill out all that information that helps you get the best roommate fit for you. And the room does change. So you are in one room for 1 year and then in another room in another year. And so I'm going to talk a little about corners. There's something called a first year corner and a second year corner. Second years get corners that have windows. And so in a 4-person room, it's usually 2 second years and 2 first year students. Sometimes it changes, and the first year students get the corners that are closer to the door, and the second year students get ones that are farther from the door. And in 2-person rooms, it's the same just for 2 people. But when you become a second year, you have the privileges of a window.
And for the form in open apply, answer as honestly as you possibly can. It's
Don't
not
lie.
a trick question. Madhu's exceptionally good at matching up roommates. We're all very, very happy with our rooms. So answer honestly.
Yeah. I hope that clears things up on roommates. So we are out of time, unfortunately, but I want to thank everyone. Okay, let's one final question. What is the school's grading system, and how did the final grades at Dilijan help Francesco study in Zurich? This can be a combination question of people answering.
Okay, so again, can you repeat the question, the last part?
So how did the final grades at Dilijan
Okay. It doesn't really, so this university is a bit particular because the degree in Armenia, so the IB degree has some particular combinations of subjects that you have to have to enter ETH Zurich. So it's more about the combination of subjects rather than the grades. I suggest that if you're 100% sure of where you want to go, maybe you check that before, but it's always a bit hard. And for me as well, it wasn't clear. I think you should first choose the subjects that you want to do and then eventually see what opportunities open up. afterwards. That's my suggestion. But in case, you can always also text me if you're interested in a particular Zurich or Switzerland. I can drop my email as well.
That would be great. The next question is about staying on campus during holidays. Our campus is closed during the winter and summer holidays, so no one really stays on campus. However, if there are any circumstances where it's not possible for someone to go back to their host countries, the school tries their best to accommodate any sort of situations that pop up. And it's very specific. So if a problem arises, then the school will be happy to take over and help solve the problem for the student.
Can I add something? Okay, so here, no, the campuses are closed for maintenance, and we have summer schools during the summer. So students cannot stay on campus, except on the occasion of COVID, where students could not fly back and we had to accommodate them. And that was the only exception when we had the campus open for the entire summer. However, we try to help students as much as possible. However, if the students are not entitled to the support from the college, we will try to help, but financially, we cannot support. Only students who are entitled to this financial support will find their accommodation or the host family, and we will take care of that. Otherwise, we'll help other students, but parents will have to support their stay in case they can't go back or they don't want to go back.
There was a question about how much a loaf of bread costs in Dilijan. A loaf of bread is around 150 drams, which is a lot less than $1. $1 is 420 drams for reference, more or less. Armenia's food is quite cheap. But I really hope you won't have the need to buy a loaf of bread, because our cafeteria has a very, very wide range of different breads, including Armenia's own version of a tortilla, which is really good.
Our second question is about accommodating activities. So like student council, and the second part of the question is, are the outside activities supervised by the teachers? And yes, the outside activities are supervised by the teachers. We have outdoor activity leaders who usually take us on a supervised trip, and it's very safe, but also very fun, and we get our chance to explore as well. And in terms of accommodating different activities like student council, it does get a little bit busy, but first term is not that busy at all. It's about learning about the school, knowing how life works, taking on different activities and having fun. But with time, as it gets more busy, what our teachers try to teach us is time management. But there are obviously activities which we feel really passionate about. In this case, for the both of us, it's student council, which is why we sort of prioritize different activities and try to figure out the best possible time to accommodate them. And moreover, most of these activities are pre-planned. So there's like, you always know beforehand when something's happening, when you have a meeting coming. So it's usually very comfortable to move things around and fit certain activities into your schedule.
Okay, I have been asked to answer a question, Anka. So I will answer that question. Stuff getting stolen, crime, etc. Well, Dilijan is quite a safe place. And I mean, otherwise, of course, everywhere in the world, people have to be vigilant. And we teach the students how to be vigilant anyway. And stuff getting stolen, it's a boarding school. Naturally, in every boarding school, you will have sometimes things getting stolen, but we provide students with safes. Each student has a safe in their room, and therefore they have to store their valuables in the safe, and they need to be very careful about their belongings, because of course, I mean, there are people, we are bringing students from 90 different nationalities, and we won't be able to totally stop that. But we have also cameras in strategic places. So sometimes that also helps. If student loses something, they sometimes ask us to see the camera, but most of the time inside the residences, inside the corridors or rooms, there are no cameras. So if things go missing, then of course we cannot do anything about it, but students have to be vigilant, and they should take responsibility, and they should be aware of their belongings and should not leave them, unattended. So this is my advice. But stealing or these kind of things are very rare, but it does happen because it's a boarding school and it's nothing, special here.
Our next question is about leaving things behind during the summer, like if we can leave books and lights for our rooms. And yes, we can. All of the houses, or as we call them, tunes, have their own attics, which are basically storage spaces where you can keep boxes, bags, or even your suitcases. So usually we pack those things up, label our names on it, and keep it in the attic. It's very safe. So anything that we don't want to take back to our homes, we can always just keep it in the school, and it's perfectly all right.
Our final question is, can both the young students share what you believe as the biggest benefit of being a UWC Diligent graduate? And I think this is for Francesco. So do you want to take that? You're on mute. Oh.
Sure. Sorry. Biggest benefit. So I'd say this can be answered in a 2-hour answer. I would say on many different levels. I could talk about the personal and let's say human development side. I could talk about the skills for life part. I could talk about the academic part. But in general, the benefit is that you have 2 years. 2 unique years of your life where you can really explore the world by being in a space with people of your age. And it's not something you would be able to do without traveling for 10 years on your own, discovering the world. And that comes and all of that comes in with learning a lot about yourself, learning about others, and really developing as a person. And I think it's just really a fast track for becoming and getting motivated to be a member of a community that wants to do good in the world. And that's something incredible and something that it's very hard to find otherwise, and very hard to find in other places and other communities. And I would say then, in just a word, maybe it's really just the motivation. The biggest benefit is really that you have this I don't know, this thing inside of you that tells you that there is people around you that you can trust, and people that you can let's say lean forward to for understanding yourself, understanding others, and really being motivated to do something that has a meaning and has an impact in the world in some sort. It sounds very, very big, but it's true. I think my fellow graduates or students now would agree with that.
Thank you, Francesco. So we had a lot of questions, almost 50 plus questions, and the emails for the necessary people that you can always email for help and they'll be willing to help are put in the chat. So it's admissions, finance team, and the buddies, of course. You can always just text us or email any of the students, and we would be happy to help. We're also really looking forward to seeing Adam in August, who is going to be our new head, and we're really, really excited for our new coming term.
So thank you everyone for joining us today. We look forward to welcoming all of our firsties, as we lovingly call you, to campus. And to end our town hall, we would like to show you a little clip, and we hope you enjoy it. We hope we answered your questions, and again, communicate to us if you have any more. And let's get ready to dance.